Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Isa, and today I have a super special video that has been highly requested, and that is how to create your very own digital planner using Keynote on the iPad. I do have a whole class available that goes into a little more detail on how to make your own digital planner in Keynote. You can sign up for free with the link that I'm gonna leave below, so you can take that and my other classes with a free trial. All you will need to follow along today is your iPad and to have the app Keynote installed. This app is free, so if you don't have it, just go to the App Store and download it. Ready? Let's start. So we're gonna jump right in. Once you have Keynote downloaded, you will open it. I'm gonna click on create a presentation, and I'm just gonna go for something simple. So any one of these, I'm gonna choose basic white. And now I have to delete these items because I won't need them. So just tap on each and click on delete. And now I have a blank slide. Now this is a miniature view of the slide that you currently have. So as we go creating slides or pages, this is where you will keep track of the skeleton, as I call it, of the planner. Okay, so far we only have one slide, which is the equivalent to one page in the planner. Okay, now I'm gonna tap on this little miniature here and go to where it says edit master slide. And here is basically telling me that whatever I do to that master slide that we're gonna open in a second is gonna be reflected on any other slide that I apply that master to. So that's gonna be super helpful, and it's gonna make our life a lot easier and or work a lot quicker when creating a digital planner. So click OK, and this is the master slide that I'm editing right now. Again, I don't need any of this, so I'm just gonna tap on each of the items and delete until it's all blank. Okay, now I'm gonna start designing my planner design. Relabel this slide by just tapping on it and then click on rename. And then I'm going to write month, and this will be the master for our monthly pages. Now I'm going to click on this plus sign on the top right, and this is your menu of like elements and things that you can add to your pages. I encourage you to explore all of the options and see all of the possibilities that you have with these tools. But right now we're gonna go to the third icon, the circle and the square, and we're just gonna select this rounded square shape. So tap on it, and as you can see, that has brought that to my page. Now I'm going to change the shape. So you can use these blue dots to drag the shape and change it to your liking. I want to make it smaller, somewhere around there, because these are gonna be the tabs or buttons for my months, okay? So you just change the size a little bit, then double tap on that shape, and then I'm going to write 3 letters for the month. So Jan for January, okay? And now I'm going to double tap on this text and then go to my formatting menu, which is this brush icon here. And then where it says text, I tap there, and I will be able to change the font. I want to select one that's called Palacio, and if you're interested in any of the fonts that I use here, you can check them out in the links below in the description. So I choose Palacio, and then you can also choose a different font size. So I think I'm gonna go up to maybe 40 or a little more, 44 maybe. Okay, and okay, so this is gonna be my button that takes me to January. So I'm gonna bring that up here. And I'm going to tap on that, click on copy in this pop-up menu, then tap on the screen to click on paste. And I have a second button that I can drag and put right next to the first one. I'm gonna repeat these to have more buttons. And once I have 3 buttons, what I can do is tap on the first one and then keep that finger on the screen and tap on the other 2. And then I'm selecting 3 at once, and then click on copy, tap on the screen, paste. And then now I have 6 buttons, and it goes a little faster because I need a total of 12 buttons. And paste. Now, as you can see, these are a little too big because when I place them up here, they're on top of each other. So what I'm gonna do is deselect and tap on the screen to click on select all. Go to your brush here where it says arrange, group, and then you can move them all together to make them a little smaller. Make sure you don't make them super small because then the text will no longer fit, and as you can see, it disappears. So just make sure to not go so far, but there's no need. I think that's enough. And I'm gonna go back to my brush and ungroup just so that I can move them again individually. And I'm just gonna bring this to where I want it to be placed, something like that. Now I'm gonna click on the screen again, select all. This time I'm gonna go to my brush again, in my arrange section, and I'm gonna make sure that they're all aligned to the top. So you tap on either this icon here. I'm gonna use my Apple Pencil so you can see better. So this one or this one, which means the one with the line on top means that all of the items are gonna be sent to the top and be aligned in that way. And the line on the bottom means they will all be sent to the bottom and be aligned to the bottom. However, in this case, it doesn't matter which option you choose. Either one of those is gonna make them be aligned. Now I want to make sure that they're spaced out correctly, so you can just click on where it says horizontally, and this program will automatically space all of the buttons to have the same separation in between them. Tap on the screen, and there I have my buttons. Double tap on each button and update the text for the correct month. So this is just the style that I use when creating my monthly tabs. You could enter the whole name of the month, but of course the tabs would have to be longer and you would have to adjust to make sure that they fit well in the page. Last month, December. That's it. These are going to take me to the different monthly spreads. Okay, now remember this is my monthly page, so I need to add boxes to create my calendar. To do that, I'm gonna go back to my plus sign, and that's why I said that I encourage you to look at all of the options here, because you have a ton of different tools that will help you when creating your designs. This time we're gonna go click on the first icon, which is your tables option, and I'm just gonna click on this one because it's the simpler one. It just has a black outline with white cells. That's the one I want to use for this project. And now we're going to create a calendar, which usually, well, of course, it has 7 boxes horizontally, 1 per day of the week, and 5 rows, so you can have up to 5 weeks space. To change this table, you have, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, this icon here, which is a circle with 2 small lines. That's where you will tap to modify the number of columns that you have. As you can see right now, this is set to 4. I want it to be set to 7, so I'm just gonna click on this top arrow to bring it up to 7. And in the same way, I'm gonna find the other icon for the bottom here and change it if I need to, but it's already at 5, which works for me, so I'm gonna leave it as is. And I'm just gonna tap on this table to drag it down a little bit and arrange it whatever you want. You can make this bigger by dragging on these blue dots. If you drag the one in the bottom right, then that's gonna make the whole thing bigger proportionally, but you can also just pull the blue dot on the right side or the bottom if you wanna make it longer, you know, or shorter. You could have a whole page calendar, but in my opinion, the boxes stretch out too much, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit shorter, align it better. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to duplicate this table. So tap on it and then click on copy. Then deselect to tap on the screen to click on paste, and I have another table that looks exactly the same, but this table I wanted to have only 1 row and 1 column, so basically I'm making just 1 box. So I'm gonna go to my lines on the side, move this down to 1, and same with these lines at the bottom, go down to 1. Okay, now I'm gonna make this a lot smaller and move it to the right side. So this is gonna be like my notes section that I always like to have in my spreads. You can adjust the size. So our page is looking more like a calendar now. Now, what are we missing? We are missing the days of the week. To do that, we'll go back to our plus sign to insert yet another element. Go to your shapes menu, which is this third icon here. And then as you can see, you have this option that says text. And if you tap there, you'll just create a text box here on the screen. So I'm gonna double tap on it and then write the first day of the week. In my case, I like my weeks to start on Mondays. So I'm just gonna write Monday, and I want this to be all capitals. So Monday, it's too small, so I double tap on the text, go to my format menu here, and where it says text, I will be able to make the text a little bit bigger, maybe around there. And if you go lower, you'll see you have the justification options. I always like my text to be centered. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here, and now I'm gonna bring this text box up here to my first day. Now that my text is centered, I know that if I grow this box by pulling on this blue dot and make it the exact same size of this column, then the text will be centered. I forgot I also want to use the same font I've been using, so I double tap on my text, zoom out a little bit so you can see your toolbar again, and then double tap on the text, format, and where it says font, you can choose Palacio font or whichever font you are using. Okay, and I could make it bigger, but I'm gonna wait because some days are longer and I'm not sure they're gonna fit on the box. So when that's done, I'm gonna tap on Monday, copy, tap elsewhere, paste, and arrange the days. Now, these other days that are not the first day of the week don't really have to be super aligned, and you'll see why in a second, but just place them somewhere where you think they're somewhat aligned with the columns. We need a total of 7 text boxes, 1 per each column. And this last day does have to be aligned because the first and last days will be the reference to align the rest of the text boxes. Okay, so the same way that we selected multiple items before, you will tap on the first and then on the following items, so you can select them all. Then we're gonna go to our brush here, arrange. Again, I want to make sure they're all aligned at the top or the bottom, which they are. Then I click on horizontally, and that will make sure that they're spaced out correctly. And since I'm here, I'm also going to group them just to make it easier in the future. And the next thing I'm gonna do is just double tap on my group, because now this is a group, so I have to first select my group, then double tap to select each item that conforms the group. I hope this is not too confusing. And then you double tap again and you will be able to select the text. And now I'm gonna write Tuesday, then Wednesday. And this almost always happens to me. Wednesday is the longest day of the week, and as you can see, it was too long, so it does not fit in my text boxes. So what I'll do, since all of my items are grouped, and this is why having groups is helpful, if I tap on that group and then I go to my brush menu here and then I ungroup, all of the items will be selected individually, which is really helpful because right now I want to go back to my brush menu here, go to text, and now I want to change the size of all of the labels. So since they're all selected, I can just go and change the size of my font until the word Wednesday fits properly on the box. Then before deselecting, I go back to arrange and group again. Now I keep going with editing the rest of the days. And one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double tap here to select a single text box, tap on that text box again, click on copy, and then click somewhere on the screen to click on paste. And I just did that because I want to have a title for this section that I mentioned is going to be my notes section. So I'm just gonna double tap here to write notes. Okay, so now we have to turn these boxes into actual buttons. And to do that, we first have to get out of this master slide. So click on done. And if you recall, we only have one active page right now. So if I want my buttons to take me to other pages, I need to first create the other pages that the buttons will take me to. So to do that, you can click on this page or slide on the left side and then click on duplicate and keep doing that until you have 12. You can also select several by tapping on the first and then on the second and then releasing your first finger. I find this a little weird, but it works. So then copy, then tap here again to select paste, and then I pasted 3 pages at a time, which makes it a little bit faster. Another method to create a copy of the exact same page is clicking on this plus sign. And here you have the masters, and we only care about the one that we created ourselves, which is labeled month. So you can also tap there and add another page with the month master. So really use whichever method works for you, but what you want is to have 12 slides or pages total. Now that I have 12 pages, I can go back to my master and add buttons that will take me to these pages. To do that, tap on any slide and click on Edit Master Slide. Okay, we are back here to our master, so now we can edit anything that's on this page. And what I'm gonna do is click on my first button, click on Link, and then Link to Slide, and this is gonna take me to the first page. So the first page in my planner is going to be the month of January, okay? Go and do the same with February, so tap on Link, Link to Slide, number 2, and go on for the rest of the slides. Awesome, so I have added buttons or links to all of these boxes so that when I'm actually using the planner, whenever I tap on either box, it's going to open a different page. Now from here, I just want to copy a text box. So I'm going to copy the one that says notes because it's separate. If you recall, my days are grouped. So I'm going to tap on it and click on copy. Click on done to get out of my master slide editing. Okay, so I go back to my pages. Now I just want to show you, if you look through the pages in your document, so these are going to be the pages in your planner, you can see that there's this little arrow kind of grayed out that you can see. That means that all of these buttons have their links added, and you can also see that all of the slides or pages are exactly the same. Now we need to differentiate each month from one another. So that's why I copied that text box and I did it in my master slide, because right now I'm not able to edit anything on this actual page. As you can see, this menu pops and it says edit master slide. It means that whatever change I want to do has to be done on the master slide. So I'm just gonna tab and click on paste because I want to use this text box. Bring it all the way up here to the left. Go to my brush to edit my text. And this time I want to justify my text to the left, so click here, and then you can make this a lot bigger, something like, I don't know, some 45 points or maybe 50, up to you. And now I want to make this box bigger because what I will write down here is the names of the months, and those are definitely bigger than the word notes. So I make my box bigger just so that the word won't cut like it did with Wednesday. Now I'm going to double tap here and I'm going to write down the first month, which is going to be January. And how do I know that this is January? Because so far we only have 12 pages or slides and they're in the right order, 1 to 12. So I have my first month labeled, and then I will just copy this label and paste it onto the next page. As you can see, it goes exactly to the same spot, so that's easy. And now I'm going to start writing the rest of the months. And we're obviously adding these labels on the pages themselves and not the master, because any change I do to the master will be reflected on the rest of the pages that have that master applied, okay? So I just want to show you quickly that if I go edit my master, so click on edit master slide, and if I went to these buttons, and actually let me select all of them, and if I went to my brush, I can actually change the color of these buttons. So I'm gonna go to where it says style. And then it's not very clear here because it's black and you can't really see, but there's a color box here. It says fill, and if I tap on that color, I'm able to select a different color. So you have different ways of selecting. You can even add a gradient here if you want. You would change the start and the end color, and then you'll create a gradient effect. Or you can just go here and choose a different color. You'll see when I click on done that all of my slides here have changed color as well. I'm gonna go back to black. So your planner is basically done because now you have one page per month of the year. Before we export this and test it, I do want to do something else, and that is I want to have a blank page behind each month, and this can be used for you to add your weekly spreads, your notes, anything you want. I think it's really handy to have that always. So what we are going to do is just tap on that first page to click on duplicate, and the one that you just added, so the duplicate, is always going to be under the first one, okay? Just so you know, because now I have two pages that both say January. This is the new one. And what I'm going to do is just tap on it and then go to this brush icon again, but this time I have some different options. And where it says master, as you can see, or maybe you can read, but it says it's the month master selected. I want to change that, so I just tap there and click on where it says blank, and that has changed the master to a blank page. So I'm gonna just delete this January label. But now I do want to edit this blank page so that I do have my buttons that will allow me to navigate through the months of the planner. So I'm gonna go to this slide and click on where it says edit master slide. Once you have this master slide editing window open, you will see that you're able to select which master slide you want to edit. As you can see, I have the blank master selected, but if I scroll, I will also find my month master. So I want to copy all of the top buttons to add them to my blank master as well. You tap on one button and then tap on the rest of them to select them all. Remove your first finger, click on copy, go to your blank slide here, and then tap on the screen to click on paste. Click on done. And now, as you can see, I have my month page, and right under it I have a blank page. Now I want to make a copy of this, so duplicate, tap and drag and bring the slide under the next month, or you can also go to the month, click on the plus sign, and then look for when it says blank and add that slide. Repeat for the rest of the months. Okay, so after adding a page behind each of my months, the last thing I want to show you how you can do is create a cover page. So again, I'm gonna go to my first slide here and click on duplicate. And as I mentioned before, the new page is the one below. So I'm just gonna have to drag it up. So tap and hold and then drag it up so that it's at the beginning. And this time I want to change the master as well to something that is just white. I'm not sure if I have it here. So I just pick the one that's closest to white, which in this case it says bullets, and then I just go here and delete the content because I just want a white page. Now I just want something really simple. This is my own personal style of creating my cover pages. So I'm gonna bring in this app where I keep my covers. You can do this exact same thing I'm doing using the Photos or the Files app. And so to do that, you would just drag up from the bottom, choose the icon of the app that you want to use. If you want to use Photos, you just drag that icon to one side of the screen and you will enter split screen view. So I have my covers here, and I think I want to choose this colorful one, so you can literally just drag it on the screen. Again, this could be the Photos or the Files app. Then close it and just place your cover whatever you wanted. And I'm just gonna add a text box on the right side. So click on the plus sign, text, tiny box, and then I'm going to write something like all my plans 2021. Select all and go to my brush to go to text. Change the font. I'm gonna choose the Mireia font. Again, this is gonna be linked below if you want to get it. And now I can't see my text, and this is a little frustrating, but I'm just gonna go up a few numbers. So I was at 24. I think I'm gonna go up to maybe a 50. I'm not sure. I'll have to go out and check. Okay, that's super tiny. So what I'll do is just drag my text on top of my cover just so that I can see it when I'm choosing the size in my menu here, and just go up quite a bit because it's very small. Something like that. And I want the color to be black, so I just change it over there. And this is actually big now. So let's go back a little bit, maybe there. And I can rotate the text a little bit by moving with both my fingers at the same time. Something like this. And I think I can just put these two words together to make them fit better. I can make my cover a little bit smaller. That's looking good. And now my planner is ready. Now my pages are undated at the moment, and if you'd like to see how you can date them directly in Keynote, make sure to check out my following video because I will teach you exactly how to do that. For now, I will export my planner in PDF format so I can test it, or I can send it straight to my note-taking apps such as GoodNotes, Notability, NoteShelf, and any other that you're using that accepts PDF files. So to export, you click on these three dots on the top right, click on Export PDF. You leave this as is, click on Export, and then you just click on your favorite note-taking app. In this case, I'm gonna test it in GoodNotes, so I click there, Open. Now, I don't have any other document open, so it doesn't allow me to insert it in the middle of that document, but if you had a document open, it'll ask you whether to import as a new document or insert in the current one. And if you insert in the current one, then you're gonna mess up both files because it's gonna be an interactive file inside of another file. They're not gonna work properly. So make sure you choose on import as new document. And here I have my brand new planner. So this is my cover page. I like to make a cover page because when you get out of this file and go to your main library, you will be able to see a preview of the document. This helps you quickly recognize your document, and it also looks cute as a miniature. So I'm gonna open my planner, and now we're actually gonna test the links that we created. So I'm gonna scroll to the first page of the planner. Now, if I tap on my links, as you can see, the pages change and I navigate through the months. And if you remember, we have added a blank page behind every month, so you can enter whatever you want here. Okay guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I know that this is a very simple planner design, but I just wanted to make it very easy to follow along. And the idea is that you get to understand how all this linking and creating pages works. Also, you did get to see most of the tools that you would need in Keynote in order to create your spreads and your design. So really just practice, be creative, and you'll be able to create a ton of more stuff. Keep an eye out for my following video where I will teach you how you can date this planner. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. And if you have any questions at all, drop me a comment below. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and click on the bell so you turn on the notifications for the following videos. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.